Kentucky. It's the Penn State Nittany Lions versus the Kentucky Wildcats. This game is brought to you by Dodge. For a good buy, see the good guys at your local Dodge dealer today. And by Genesee Beer, our one brewery makes it best. And by your 40,000 Westinghouse neighbors in Pennsylvania who help make products that conserve energy by using it efficiently. Hi, everybody. I'm Ray Scott, and an old friend is back with us, Max McGee, on this beautiful afternoon in Lexington, Kentucky. Max, what goes here? Kentucky 2-1, Penn State 1-2.
Well, it's an interesting situation, Ray, because Kentucky's off to their best start in a decade, and Penn State, of course, is off to their worst start in a decade. So what you look for, momentum is for Kentucky, but who ever heard of Joe Paterno having a three-game losing streak?
Largest football crowd in the state of Kentucky's history. How about that? George Paterno is with us. He's down on the field with Brother Joe. Let's see what Joe has to say. George?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
You look very familiar. Hey, Joe, you're the winningest college coach in the country right now, and second time you've lost 2 in a row. How do you feel? How's the team feel?
I don't feel very good about it, Judge, of course, but I think we're going to play very well today, as hard as we can. The kids have been very determined, very grim almost. I hope they're not too tense. It always bothers me a little bit, but nobody likes to lose 2 in a row. As you said, we've never lost 3, but we're going after it.
You think you might have spoiled some of these Penn State fans?
Well, I hope not. I hope they realize that it's a squad that's going to get better as we go along, but it's going to be an exciting year.
Joe, your kicking game has been not what it was last year. Have you worked hard on that this week?
Yeah, we've worked hard. We're trying, of course, to get that kicking situation stable.
Right.
We're jumping back and forth from people, and maybe today we can work it out.
How about Kentucky? What kind of a club they have?
Kentucky's a fine football team, very quick, very aggressive, play real good defense, and they run out of a straight tee, and their backs fast. We're going to have to play very well today to win.
Well, Joe, I have to tell you one thing that happened after the Iowa game. After I came out of the booth as being as depressed as you, some of the alumni asked me what was going on. I said, well, after 10 years, I took Joe this far, and now he's on his own. Good luck today.
Thanks a lot, buddy. See you now.
There's an old proverb in football. It says, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And Joe Paterno, like another Brooklyn coach, Vince Lombardi, lives by that credo. So if Colonel Sanders is around today, he better hold his goatee. Up to you, Ray.
Okay, George. I'll report that fact to our friend Colonel Sanders. Max, Kentucky has a very interesting young man, a quarterback by the name of Derek Ramsey. What do you know about him?
Derek Ramsey is not only interesting, he's a big boy. He's 6'4" and weighs 222 pounds. He's not only their leading scorer, but he's their leading rusher and their leading passer. So what else can you do for the offense?
With Ramsey being a young man who likes to run out of a rollout mainly, this puts a lot of pressure on the 2 outside men of Penn State's front 4. That means Ron Crosby, 64, and Bill Banks, 85. Max, I know you've heard about their play so far this season.
You know, Bill Banks, believe it or not, is the leading tackler on this squad. He's having an outstanding year. He didn't play that much last year, but he's really come along this year and has developed into one of the outstanding linemen on Penn State team. Ron Crosby, of course, everybody saw last year what an outstanding player he is, and they've got their work cut out because they're going to have to get Ramsey down on that option play.
Okay, we're mighty close to kickoff time, so we'll be back to Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky, right after this. Max, we were talking about Derek Ramsey. There he comes out. He's one of the co-captains of this Kentucky team, and I'm just looking over where various players are from. Now, Ramsey is from Camden, New Jersey. Erie, Pennsylvania has a running back here, Joe Dupre. We have Ken Carish, a defensive end from Monroeville. We have Tom Dornbrook from Pittsburgh, John Nocta from Brownsville, and Craig Roberts of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Well, the Nittany Lions come onto the field, and that gives me a chance to make mention of the fact, Max, that we visited very briefly with an old buddy of ours, Andy Bailey. The Nittany Lion came up to pay us a visit, and the reason for all the applause from this capacity crowd, the Kentucky Wildcats are out en masse now in Commonwealth Stadium. And there's Andy Bailey, our Nittany Lion. What about the playing surface here, Max? It's natural grass, and it looks good.
It's a fast field, Ray. It's an excellent condition, the kind of field you like to play on. And I'm sure that condition-wise, you'll see as good a football game as you can see. The weather's beautiful, the field's great, and look for a big defensive struggle.
There's the Kentucky Wildcat. The officials for today's game: James Harper Jr. is the referee, Pete Williams the umpire, Dave Scobie the linesman, Lee Paisley the line judge, the field judge John Fleming, the back judge Dick Pace, and the electric clock operator is Oakley Christian. And in a moment we'll have the toss of the coin. And I just can't get over the weather, and this is truly, I haven't been here this often, Max. I know you've had a chance to visit down this way. This is a truly beautiful part of these United States.
That's right, Ray. Of course, they have beautiful horses down here, and also, as you look around the stands, some real beautiful women.
We'll hear referee Jim Harper in just a moment, so let's go to the field and await the official introduction.
Mr. Jimmy Harper from Atlanta.
How you doing, Captain? Glad to see you. Let's take all y'all fans in. It's like a political convention. Glad to see you. Y'all all shake hands together, boys. I can't introduce you. Go ahead and shake hands.
Number 70, Benjamin, and number 71, Spencer. For Kentucky, your captains, number 12, Dennis Ramsey, number 50, Jim Kovacs, number 57.
All right, Ken, captains, your other officials today. Your back judge is Mr. Pace. Your field judge is Mr. Paisley. Your linesman, Mr. Scobie. The umpire, Mr. Williams. Your field judge, Mr. Fleming. Who's going to call the toss here, white team? Come on up here close. Call it in the air, and drop it, flip it again.
Heads.
He said heads. Heads it is. White, you win it.
We want the ball.
You receive. Which end you want to put your back down there? White wins the toss, and they'll receive.
Penn State has won the toss and will receive.
Blues kicking in this direction.
Kentucky will kick off.
So there we've had the toss of the coin. Penn State has elected to receive. Judging by appearances, Max McGee, this Wildcat squad is sky high, but I guess you really can't tell by gymnastics before a game, can you?
Well, you can somewhat. Sometimes you can get too high, Ray, and that happens sometimes to a young team like Kentucky who's having off to their good start. They may be overly high, and I think Coach Paterno has taken advantage of these situations before, so I look for a real spirited battle.
Now, we do understand that with Penn State having won the toss and electing to receive, we're going to see 3 new return players. We're going to see Neil Hutton, number 26. We're going to see Mike Gooman, number 24, and Bill Crummey, number 23. Now, in the middle will be Neil Hutton. On the right is Bill Crummey. And no, I don't think that is Mike Gooman back there. Kicking off for Kentucky will be Joe Bryant. He's a sophomore. There's the Kentucky kicker. The Wildcats kicking off. Penn State won the toss. In the end zone is Neil Hutton. To the 5, 10, 15, 20, and down at the 25-yard line by Kentucky's Bud Deal. So now we get a chance to watch the Penn State offense. John Andrus will start at quarterback. Dave Stutz will start at fullback. Matt Suey is not here because of his injury last week. He did not make the trip. Rich Malott is the tailback. Rich Malott gets about 3 yards. There are no surprises in the offensive line. George Riener, 68 of Washington, PA. Tony Williott, 61 of Youngstown, Ohio. Keith Dorney from Allentown. Ron Argenta, 69 from Delmont. Brad Benson, number 71 from Altoona, the offensive line. Wide right goes Jimmy Cepolo. Wide left is Monty. On second down, 7. Incomplete. Out of bounds. Intended for Cepolo. It'll be 3rd and 7, and Andrus is down. Andrus received quite a hit from James Ramey, number 79, and on the second play of the game, Andrus is injured. Chuck Bucina will come in at quarterback, Max.
Chuck Vicina, a very good passer. That particular play, Ray, it was a little off rhythm. His reason, Cepolo, of course, was out of bounds before he caught the ball, but Andrus took a real jolt after he delivered that ball. So it looks like we're going to see Chuck Vicina early today.
As soon as we get any information as to the type of injury and possibly the extent to Andrus, we'll pass it along. The tight end for Penn State, as we look at Chuck Vicina from McKees Rocks, the tight end is Mickey Schuler, number 82. He sends Cepolo to the right and Donovan to the left. On 3rd and 7 from the Penn State 28. Cepolo in motion. Rich Malott. And he is very close to a first down. Brought down by Kelly Kirchbaum, a linebacker. It is 4th down and 2.
I think Penn State was trying to confuse them in a passing situation. They ran the draw play and almost broke it for a first down. Got just a yard short on 4th down.
Mike Saganos is back to receive the punt from Scott Fitzke, who has been averaging just about 33 yards a punt, but he's been putting them up high. Saganos at the 30, and oh, is he hit. Downfield for Penn State was Joe Diminick, the sophomore from Mount Carmel, and he made a fine play.
That's a good way to make
George
a mistake.
Paterno, have you found out anything about young Andrus?
Ray, it looks like his shoulder, and it looks fairly serious, and the burden is on young Vicina right now. The hitting down here is very vicious. Back up to you, Ray.
Okay, George Paterno. Kentucky, Derek Ramsey at quarterback out of a full house backfield. Rod Stewart, the fullback, 32. Chris Hill, the left halfback. This is the fullback, Stewart, and he's met by Kurt Allerman. Now, let's acquaint you with the offensive personnel of Kentucky. Derek Ramsey is the main man, number 12. His fullback, who carried the ball on first down for a yard, is Rod Stewart, 32. The halfbacks are Chris Hill, 22, and Greg Woods, number 2. There is good speed there. 2nd and 9. This is Chris Hill. Ran into Hostetler. It's going to be 3rd and 2 at the Kentucky 37 and a half.
I think Penn State is looking for a lot of wide stuff. I think they geared their defense to stop Gary Woods outside, so therefore the middle may be open. Maybe Kentucky found something.
3rd down, 2.5 for first down. This is Ramsey. It's very close to a first down. He met Bill Crummey and Gary Peter Tusky.
You know, Ray, having that Ramsey in the backfield is almost like having 2 fullbacks. He's big, strong, and he can run those short yardage plays. And that'll be a big difference for Kentucky.
And it is a first down by about a foot at the Kentucky 40. Penn State has Crosby, 64, Benjamin, 70, Petruccio, 99, and Banks, 85, the front 4. That is Chris Hill running inside, brought down by Hostetler, but he gets 7 yards.
You see on the replay here, it's the identical play they ran on the first series, making good yardage. They came right back with it, and it worked again. So I think that's something Penn State's going to have to watch for. 2nd and 3
at the Kentucky 47. Stewart, no gain. He ran into Kurt Allerman and Chuck Benjamin. Penn State's linebackers are Ron Hostetler, 38, Kurt Allerman, 53, Tom DePasso, 95, and right now it's Paul Suey, number 80. The defensive halfbacks are Bill Crummey, number 23, Neil Hutton, number 26, and Gary Peter Tusky is the safety man. 3rd and 2 for Kentucky. The fullback does not get the first down as Benjamin nailed Rod Stewart. It's going to be 4th and 1. Do you think Fran Kersey would gamble at this stage, Max? No.
I rather doubt it. He was a little slow getting his punting team out there, but I think it's a little too early to try anything unless you were totally afraid of Penn State.
Pete Gemmel is the punter. Monty is back. This is Monty, fair catch. Penn State at the Penn State 14. There's a timeout on the field. With the score, Penn State nothing and Kentucky nothing. We'll be back right after this. Penn State at the Penn State 14. First quarter, no score. Fusina in place of the injured. This is Cepalo. Beautiful pass by Fusina out to the Penn State 40. David Stevens made the tackle.
Ray, I think you're going to see a change in personality of Chuck Fusina. Other times that he's been in there, it's been because in passing situation, he's been kind of just getting in there to throw the ball. But today, it's on his shoulders. I think you'll see the real personality of this quarterback, and I think he can throw the ball. And evidently, you saw somebody could catch it.
First down at the Penn State 40. Malott. Off just enough in the timing so that Malott is brought down by Art Still, the defensive end. And now let's establish some names for the Kentucky defense. Stevens, 82. Winkle, 83. Blanton, 92. Ramey, 79. Still, 97. The front five. They play a nose guard. Blanton over the center. There was no gain on that play. It's second down and 10. Fusina nailed for a loss by Bob Winkle about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 15. Here it is again, Max.
Right, you'll see here, I think for a young man that hasn't played much, he made a good play here. He didn't see anybody open. He was able to hold the ball. The rush finally got to him, but had someone been open, he could have got the ball away.
Rich Maudie goes to the right. Scott Fitzke to the left as we come back now to live action. 3rd and 15. Double wing for Penn State. Mickey Schuler, the intended receiver, intercepted by Rick Hayden, and Kentucky has the football.
Chuck Fusina throws it in a pretty bad place in a passing situation on long yardage. When you put that ball in the middle, you're asking for trouble, and you see it right here. Just couldn't get to the ball in an interception, and that might be not too good of a call.
All right, first down, Kentucky at the Wildcat 41. No score, first quarter, 9:04 left in the period. The fullback, Stewart, DePasso and Petruccio make the stop after a gain of about 3. It's second down 7 at the Kentucky 44. Kentucky's offensive line, and it's a good one. Slate, 71, Smolder, 73, Hopewell, 77, Dornbrook, 53, and Bryant, 69. Remember that name, Bryant, the right tackle. The tailback, Chris Hill, is nailed by Benjamin for no gain. It is 3rd and 7, Kentucky.
It's great to watch these Penn State linebackers in action. They got four linebackers, and every one of them are capable of playing great football, and that's kind of the backbone of that defense. Along with 4 good up men, it's going to be hard to move the ball against the Penn State boys.
Burke is wide to the left. Wide right is Dickerson. 3rd and 6. That might be a first down for Hill.
You'll see here on the option, he decided to pitch the ball a little late. It was almost a forward lateral, but one missed tackle right there by Bill Banks gave him a chance to make the first down.
So Kentucky now is at the Penn State 48-yard line with 7:40 left to play in a scoreless first quarter. Burke to the left. Dickerson is in tight on the right. Hill is nailed by Bill Banks.
There's Bill Banks again. He missed the tackle on that last play, and he's right back to make the tackle here. This young man's a good football player.
Earlier I said keep remembering number 69 for Kentucky. Warren Bryant, they tell me, might be one of the finest offensive linemen in college football, and Kentucky likes to run behind him. It is 2nd and 9, Kentucky. That was Greg Woods, number 2. And one of the Wildcats is down on his knees. It might be Tom Dornbrook. No, it's number 32, Rod Stewart, the fullback. He'll be replaced by Joe Dupre, number 21. And here's Woods.
You can see the big hole he had there, Ray. And this young man can fly. The scouts also think he's got the kind of speed that goes with a good halfback. He was a defensive back last year, but I think they wasted him because he's turned out to be an outstanding halfback, averaging 7 yards a carry.
Kentucky has a 3rd and 1 at the Penn State 38.5-yard line. And the Wildcats are all we're told they were. A team that can move the ball on the ground. Ramsey has yet to throw a pass. They have 2 tight ends in now, Dickerson and Peterson. 3rd and less than 1 at the Penn State 38.5. Ramsey, first down, 34-yard line.
It is unusual, Ray, when you use your quarterback for your short yardage plays, but twice on short yardage, he's elected to keep it himself, and he's made it both times.
Stewart quickly back in the game, so he was just shaken up. Number 32, the Kentucky fullback. It's first down, the Wildcats. Ramsey. Now, Randy Burke, the wide receiver, I think might have been out of bounds.
Right, I think you'll notice the ball is almost out of play here. He might have been throwing the ball away, but he did give his receiver some kind of chance. They say he's a bad passer, but he just whipped this one 50 yards in the air, so he may be a bad passer, but he doesn't have a bad arm. You can see that ball could have been caught, but it would have been out of bounds. Very well played defensively.
Second down, 10. This is the left halfback, and Chris Hill gets short yardage. He ran into Neil Hutton and Bill Banks. Number 22, Chris Hill. He's a sophomore from Montgomery, Alabama. Now for Kentucky. Third down, 6 at the Penn State 30. 5.5 minutes left first quarter, no score. Burke goes wide left. This is Hill. It'll be 4th and about 1. Paul Suey and Neil Hutton made the tackle on number 22. But it's 4th and 1 at the Penn State 25.
Ray, now's the time. It's decision-making time. It's early in the game. No score. Should you go for it? Should you kick a field goal? I think Kentucky's going to go for it.
Pete Gemmell, number 81, is in at left halfback. Big Ramsey. To the 16-yard line, a marker is down. A marker is down at the 16-yard line.
That's a personal foul. Personal foul on 95.
This will move the ball to the 8-yard line.
We'll take a look here and see if we can pick up the infraction. I didn't see it from up here, but
they've called it on Tom DePasso. Now let's see about what number 95 did.
Ray, I never saw 95 in the picture unless it was a late hit right there, possibly, that they could have called a late hit. The Penn State defense is going to have to stop this Derek Ramsey on this option play. He's getting too much room to operate in there.
It is first and goal at the Penn State 8-yard line. 4:37 left to play first quarter and the first real scoring threat of the game. Randy Sidler, number 25, is in defensively now at a tackle. He's been hurt. Tailback to the 4. Chris Hill gets 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal now. Kentucky has moved to 5 first downs. Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions have only 1. 2nd and goal, Kentucky. Tailback, and he gets about a yard, does Chris Hill. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 3. He ran into Bill Banks. They're trying to run, obviously, behind Warren Bryant, number 69.
Warren Bryant is some kind of offensive tackle. He's this Kentucky line is really getting off the line of scrimmage to the point that a couple of times I thought they jumped the gun, but evidently he's got these boys fired up, and they're coming off the ball. That's the difference in the game right now.
It is 3rd and goal. This is Hill. Touchdown. So Kentucky does in 11 and a half minutes what it could not do in last year's game at State College.
You'll see this is a power play off the right tackle, and they're just blowing people out of there. This team is inspired, and Penn State will just have to get back in this ball game.
Johnny Grubb will hold. And Pierce will try for the 7th point. It's good. There's a timeout on the field with the score Kentucky 7 and Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. To a 7-0 lead. 3:29 left to play first quarter. Kentucky preparing to kick off. This is Bill Young, a tackle. Out across the 20-yard line. That's right. Bill Young, a sophomore from Newcastle, has been lining up as one of the return men. Now, we'll tell you again if you missed the start of our telecast. John Andrus was injured on the 2nd play of the game. Chuck Fusina has taken over at quarterback. He has been intercepted 1 time, and Kentucky moved 59 yards to a touchdown, all on the ground. Dave Stutz from the 22 to around the 25, where he ran into tackle Bob Winkle.
I might add one thing, Ray. Penn State started out this year with a host of running backs. 4 of the ones they counted on the most are not in this ball game. They've had many injury problems in the backfield. I think it affects the timing somewhat. All these young men want to play, but the timing is so important. So now they've got 3 strangers back there.
2nd and 7. Fusina. This is Dave Stutz, the fullback. And he's close to a first down, and Fusina did a tremendous job in getting rid of that ball with Stevens and Ramey hanging all over him.
Fusina definitely did a good job here. He enabled Penn State to keep from getting a real big loss and completed it out here, and that saved Penn State from being in the hole. Now they got a chance to make a first down.
It's either going to be a first down or a 3rd and less than 1 with 2:28 left to play, and we look at the big fullback, Dave Stutz, the former tight end who just ran so well after catching that ball. 3rd and that much for a first down.
You can give all that credit to Chuck Fusina. He threw that ball with one guy hanging on his leg.
Kentucky, to beef up its short yardage defense, has placed an additional lineman in, Jaffe. Penn State a double tight end now. Schuler joined by Greg Kubis. They're waiting for the sticks to be placed over on the far side of the field. 3rd and inches, Penn State at the Penn State 32. Fusina, he got enough for the first down. They force him back. Big Stevens, the defensive end, wanted to continue things a little bit longer, but it's a first down for Penn State. And I'll tell you something. For want of a better word, Max, this game is being played with great intensity, and you can read an awful lot into that if you'd like.
There's no doubt about that, Ray. Kentucky, as we said at the top of the show, they're off to a good start. They want to win this game badly, and of course Penn State really needs a victory here. They can really start the season again if they can come up with a win in the state.
This is Maudie at the 43, and it's close to another Penn State first down. Max, may I ask you a question? Are these cornerbacks, defensive halfbacks, are they having the sole responsibility one-on-one with these wide receivers?
They were in a man-to-man defense that time, Ray, as you can see on the replay, and the ball could have got there just a little sooner, and I think he'd have had a chance to run. But they are playing some man-to-man, and they mix it up occasionally with the zone.
Second and inches with Maudie and Cephalo wide right. Malott has a first down at the Penn State 45-yard line. The Penn State tailback ran into David Stevens, a big, aggressive defensive end, number 82. There he is. He's the one that wanted to wrestle Fusina to the ground long after the play was over a moment ago. Penn State now with back-to-back first downs, 3 first downs in this first quarter. Less than a minute remaining in the period. 7-0 Kentucky. Malott. And Malott gets about 7 or 8 yards on first down into Kentucky territory. This is the first Penn State has been able to cross midfield.
I think you'll see here, he dumped the ball out to the swing back. And I think they got a little more confidence in this throwing game with Chuck Fusina in there. He's throwing the ball well, and I think they're going to see a lot of balls in the air today.
George Riener threw a fine block there in front of Malott. It is 2nd down and 3 at the Kentucky 48. This is Fitzke. First down at the Kentucky 32.
Chuck Fusina is on the money to Fitzke here. This is the way the square out should be run.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score, Kentucky 7 and Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Penn State has the ball, 1st and 10 at the Kentucky 31-yard line as we start the second quarter with Kentucky leading 7-0. Fusina at quarterback, Stutz at fullback, Malott at tailback. I swore somebody was offside there.
That was the middle linebacker, Ray. I'm not sure he was offside, but he was on a blitz, and he definitely tore that play up. That was Mike Martin.
No gain on the play. There's Big Stutz. Might have been a loss of a yard. 2nd down 11 at the Kentucky 33. Fusina is intercepted by Rick Hayden, his 2nd interception of the game. And there's one I'm sure Fusina would like to have back.
I'm sure when Chuck Fusina throws this ball, he wishes he could get it back because it's very hard to throw a ball in this situation. You know, this guy hanging on him, he had nobody open. I think he should have thrown it out of bounds.
So 2nd interception of the game by Rick Hayden. Kentucky at the Kentucky 33. Ramsey at quarterback, Stewart the fullback, Hill and Woods the halfbacks. This is the big quarterback, Ramsey, running behind his fullback, Stewart. Kurt Alleman made the tackle, but it's a good game for the big quarterback. From the 33 to the 39, it's 2nd and 4.
You know, Ray, these turnovers really add momentum to a team that's been struggling as long as Kentucky had. This is 2 turnovers, and they took advantage of the first one. Maybe Penn State can stop on this thing.
Matt Millen, number 60, is in at a linebacker for Penn State. This is the right halfback, Woods. Paul Suey made a fine tackle, number 80.
You see, they're running the sweep, which has been the favorite the favorite play here of Gary Woods. He's been averaging 7 yards a carry on this time, but not this time.
So Greg Woods brings it up to a 3rd and 1.5 at the Kentucky 41.5. 7-0, Wildcats leading early second quarter. Fullback Stewart has a first down. Kentucky, most impressive on the ground. The Wildcats have yet to complete a pass. First down at the Kentucky 45.
I think this Wildcat offense only uses a pass in case of surprise or dire emergency.
Almost intercepted. It was tipped by Paul Suey, and Neil Hutton almost had an interception.
You'll see here, Paul Suey tipped the ball, and it looked like, I believe that's Randy Sidler, isn't it?
Well, number 80. That's Paul Suey. And here's Neil Hutton over to the right.
Neil Hutton almost had an interception.
And Randy Sidler, you're right. Randy Sidler almost had it. Now it is 2nd and 10, Kentucky. Short yardage. Rod Stewart ran into Ron Crosby at the around midfield. It's going to be 3rd and about 5.5. 3rd and 6 at the Kentucky 49. Penn State had one mild threat so far in this first half, but it was stopped by an interception. Let's see if Ramsey throws on 3rd and 6. No. He tried to run Greg Woods inside, and Paul Suey was waiting, and that's all. 4th down, and Pete Gemmel is in to punt for Kentucky. They tried to get Penn State with too many men on the field, but they didn't. Almost blocked by Hutton. That's Gary Peter Tusky at the Penn State 21-yard line. There's a timeout on the field. With the score, Kentucky 7 and Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. There was no further scoring. The quarter ended with the score, Kentucky 7, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. State 21, 1st and 10. Bucina at quarterback. Kentucky leading 7-0 early second quarter. This is Malott. Malott gets about 5 or 6 yards on first down before he ran into Dave Pedrowski, a Kentucky linebacker. Hi there, young fella. Max, Kentucky there, tried a little bit different strategy. They didn't do any substituting except for their punter, and they tried to catch Penn State with too many men on the field and almost got away with it.
Yes, I noticed that. I haven't seen that done before, but it wasn't too bad of an idea.
Cepalo goes wide left, covered by Dallas Owens, a defensive halfback. Monty to the right on 2nd and 4. Malott. And he is very close to a Penn State first down. Upset by David Stevens was Rich Malott from Coriopolis. We might have a measurement here. Let's see. Yes, we're going to have an official timeout for a measurement. With 10:45 left to play in the first half, Penn State has had 2 passes intercepted, both by Rick Hayden. And after the first one, Kentucky went 59 yards to the game's only touchdown so far.
That's first down. First down.
Penn State first down at the Penn State 31, and that's first down number 5 for the Nittany Lions. Kentucky throws a lot of pressure on its defensive halfbacks. Number 6, Dallas Owens. Number 44, Mike Saganos. Big Dave Stutz. 1 yard, that's all. Ran into Pedrowski, the big linebacker, and David Stevens.
You'll see here they tried to go straight ahead with their big fullback, right over Ron Argenta and Brad Benson, but there was no going in there as Kentucky was right there to stop that play.
Gain of a yard, 2nd down 9 at the Penn State 33. Dallas Owens, the defensive halfback, saw nothing but a touchdown, and he was a little premature.
That's right, Ray. I think possibly that Chuck is just getting this ball off possibly a little late, but he gave that defensive back a chance to cut in front of the receiver, and boy, that's dangerous, because from there in, it's touchdown all the way, and he just dropped the ball.
It is now 3rd and 9. Pitsky goes left. Monty goes right. Paul Reynaud, number 78, is in at offensive left guard now for Penn State. This is Malott. It was a forward pass, incomplete. That's merely an incomplete pass, and Malott, he just started to run with the ball before he had it. He had the screen out in front of him.
Right, he had the screen set up. He had plenty of blockers in front of him, but he was a little eager to run. He needed a lot for a first down, and I think he was in a hurry. A little bit too big of a hurry to run with the ball.
Mike Saganos, number 44, back for Scott Pitsky's punt. 9:45 left first half, 7-0. Fired up Kentucky leading. Good punt. Saganos is back at the 22. Fumble! Did Saganos get it back? He did. Oh, my. There's a timeout on the field. With the score, Kentucky 7, Penn State 0. We'll be back right after this. Is the hitting as fierce down there as we think it is?
Yes, Ray, it's very fierce, but as in the previous games, Penn State's offense is stopping itself with miscues. I think the heat will be a big factor here in the second half because the teams are playing so hard.
Okay, Ramsey on first down. Was it intercepted by Penn State? Almost. Number 97, Joe Deanne, thought he had it.
You'll see here Kentucky trying to set up the screen, and Joe Deange almost had a little spark that would have really given Penn State a lift here. He almost intercepted that ball on a screen pass.
It is 2nd and 10, Kentucky at the Kentucky 24-yard line. Stewart at fullback, 32, Hill, 22, Woods, number 2, are the Kentucky running backs, with the big man, Derek Ramsey, at quarterback. This is Stewart for 1 yard. Kentucky is faced with a 3rd and 9 now, and Randy Sidler, the junior from Danville, who was out of action a couple of games because of injury, is making his presence felt today. Randy Burke, a wide receiver, comes into the game now as Kentucky has a 3rd and about 8 at the Kentucky 25. No wide receivers, everybody in tight. Ramsey on a fine play was hit by Allerman, and then Bill Banks wound up making the tackle. 4th down, and Penn State, Max, should get pretty good field position here.
That's right. They have been hampered by field position. The one drive they got going, which they did get in the Kentucky end of the field, they begin to come off the ball, and they look like a good offensive team. They're going to have to get that going again.
There's a lot of confusion. Penn State just doesn't have enough men on the field, I don't think. They may be back to the right number right now. This is Rich Monty at the Penn State 40. So Penn State will have good field position with 8:33 left in the first half. There's a timeout on the field. The score, Kentucky 7 and Penn State 0. We'll be back right after this. Penn State at the Penn State 40, 1st and 10. 8:33 left first half. Kentucky leading 7-0. New tailback, Steve Geist with the ball. Steve gets about 4 yards on first down. Now, he has been hampered by injury, and there was some doubt, Max, as I understand it, even though he made the trip, whether the big guy would play or not. But here he is at tailback.
That's right. There's been much injuries this year in the Penn State backfield, like I say, and every week you're working with new backs. It affects the timing somewhat, and I'm sure it has some bearing on why this Penn State offense really hadn't got going like it did last year.
2nd and 8 at the Penn State 42. This is Big Geist to the 45. So Penn State is going to have a 3rd and about 5.5 now. Penn State's had just one mild threat, but it was stopped as Fusina was intercepted. Chuck has been intercepted twice since coming on to replace the injured John Andrus, and he had a third near interception. 3rd and 6 at the Penn State 44.
They've been successful trying to turn in their weak side end and hitting them inside that, just inside that halfback. Let's see if they try it.
It is caught by Stutz. No gain. Almost intercepted, and now Fusina is down.
I think there was interference on that play, Ray. The defensive man hit him a little too soon, and I saw a flag throw, and if it is, it's automatic first down.
Yes. First down, Penn State. Fusina was shaken up on that play. Now, I don't know whether he's going to be able to stay in the game or not. Nope, Doug Hostetler will be the 3rd quarterback of the game. So Andrus is out with injury. Fusina is out with injury. Both of them hit at about or right after releasing the football. So a lot of pressure now on Doug Hostetler, number 15 from Holsopper. First down at the Penn State 44. This is Steve Geis. 2 yards. Ran into David Stevens, the defensive left end.
Steve Geis seems to be running in the form that he did last year, so I think he's feeling all right.
Fusina comes back in now, so thank goodness he's all right. Geis picked up 2 yards at 2nd and 8. Time left in the first half, 6 minutes, 50 seconds. 7-0. Kentucky leading. Fitzke to the left, Monty to the right. This is for Cephalo, or Fitzke. First down at the Kentucky 20. And a penalty marker is down. I think we had a late hit again. Holding. Oh, they're going to call holding on Penn State.
What a blow this is. A great catch by Scott Fitzke, and I don't know whether they call, that may be where they called holding, but they could have called Scott Fitzke possibly for pushing off right here. And I think possibly that's what they did, Ray.
At any rate, a holding penalty will nullify a gain to the Kentucky 20. The ball comes back to the 30-yard line.
It's holding, 89 holding.
They've called it on fullback Dave Stutz. That was the number 89 you heard mentioned by the official. It is now 2nd down and about 25. Monty to the left. Cephalo to the right. Cephalo in motion. This is the big fullback, Stutz. Out to the 41-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 13. Ron Kaysen, a defensive back, made the tackle.
Green was a good call, Ray. That's a customary call in this situation where it's, you know, 1st or 2nd, 25, long yardage. You get the guys in and you screen the ball off, and it worked pretty good for 12 yards, which does give them a chance now to try to go for a first down.
3rd and 14 at the Penn State 40. Fourth down, tipped by defensive back Ray Carr.
That was intended for Scott Fitzke, but as you say, it was tipped just in front of him, and even had it been intercepted, it had been almost as good as a punt.
So Fitzke will punt to Mike Saganos, who is back at the Kentucky 20. 5:27 left first half, Kentucky leading 7-0. In a very, very physical football game. Good punt. Saganos is back at the 16. And he gets nowhere. Beautiful coverage of that punt. There's a timeout on the field. The score, Kentucky 7, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Kentucky with a 7-0 lead and a 1st and 10 at the Kentucky 17. 5:17 left first half. Ramsey. He was trying to hit Chris Hill, number 22, his left halfback. But it's obvious right now, Ramsey is about a 30% passer at best. He's tried 4 times, and he's 0 for 4 so far.
Ramsey, as I say, they don't really depend on that pass for very much, possibly just as a surprise, but he doesn't really get the ball in there that well.
Same running backs, Stewart, Hill, and Woods. This is Stewart. Bill Crummy saved a touchdown.
It was Stewart on a quick opener right over the right side, and he missed. One tackler missed him, and it was almost all the way. You'll see it here. He pops it right quick, and he can see the goal line right there. Great saving tackle. This game is 2 touchdowns.
Bill Crummy. Bill Crummy finally caught Rod Stewart, and Kentucky is threatening at the Penn State 21-yard line. And 5 minutes remain in the first half.
Kentucky had ran that play maybe 4 or 5 times this game for no gain, and all it wants is pop. That's the kind of play it is. Just a quick opener.
A marker thrown. Let's see what happens. Delay of game. It'll cost Kentucky 5 yards.
Delay of game on the blue.
So now Kentucky is at the Penn State 26-yard line, 1st and 10. Wide left is Burke, number 80. Stewart, and a marker down. A marker is down at the line of scrimmage.
Got all sides on the blue. Be first and.
Let's go back.
You want penalty? Be fit first and about 20, right?
So now it is Kentucky guilty of consecutive mistakes. 1, too much time, now offside.
That's a big break for Penn State because it was 1st and 10 on the 21-yard line. It's now 1st and 10 on the 31-yard line.
1st and 20.
1st and 20, right. They're almost, I would say, out of field goal range.
Kentucky, 1st and 20 at the Penn State 31 after back-to-back 5-yard penalties. There goes Stewart. Football is loose. Penn State has it. Tony Petruccio picks up Stewart's fumble, and Penn State has the football, and that's Kentucky's first turnover.
Ramsey came right back with the play that broke a moment ago for the big gainer, and it almost broke again. He drops the ball on the way down, which is a big break for Penn State. So that was another good play by Rod Stewart.
Neil Hutton made the tackle that forced the fumble. Tony Petruccio came up with it, and I'm trying to pick up who is receiving attention on the field. Penn State player injured on the play. Incidentally, coming up at halftime, we'll have another of our special features for you. Features which you folks have told us you've enjoyed so very much. So be sure to stay with us at halftime. 4 minutes, 38 seconds left to play first half. 7-0 Kentucky, and this is truly an inspired Kentucky football team.
That's right, Ray. And Rod Stewart has gained 90 yards in this first half.
Neil Hutton is the player injured, Max, who made the tackle on the last play that forced Stewart to cough up the football.
Neil Hutton has been around that ball all day. He's played a tremendous game, and they're going to miss him in that defensive backfield if he's hurt.
All right, Penn State 1st and 10, Penn State 18-yard line. Cepalo wide to the right. Husina at quarterback, Stutz at fullback. This is Steve Geis, struggling out across the 20 for about 3 yards, maybe 4. Let's see now. Penn State risks putting the ball in the air. Husina has been intercepted twice, and he almost had one picked off for what could have been a touchdown. Let's see if there is any hesitancy to put the ball in the air with just over 4 minutes to play in the first half. Penn State is 2nd and 7 at the Penn State 21. Andy Oncott is in at tight end now. Penn State in a double wing. He tried to get the ball to Geis, his tailback. Did I see Cefalo down to the right of Fusina? I think Fusina did not see Cefalo, who was wide open at the near sideline.
That's right. I'm not sure. They might have used Cefalo as a decoy there, but Andy Oncotts ran a short square out on this side. Of course, Cefalo went deep, and they were trying to throw the ball back to Geis on the far sideline, and that pass, too, could have possibly been intercepted.
It is 3rd and 7 at the Penn State 21. A little delay, and Dave Stutz gets it out to the 25, but it's going to be 4th down, and Kentucky's going to get the football.
Penn State has been unable to move the ball and with any kind of consistency. They'll make a 1st down, but they haven't really consistently moved the ball well, and they're going to have to keep that ball away from Kentucky.
Kentucky has 10 men up on the line. Fitzke now shortens up by a couple of yards. Very high. Good punt. Saganos is back at the 25. Marker down. The whistle has blown.
I didn't see a fair catch. Maybe
there was no fair catch signal.
No, I don't see why there'd be a penalty there because I didn't see him signal for a fair catch. He just didn't run after he caught it.
There was no signal for a fair catch.
I think when he caught it, he saw those white jerseys and he said, time out.
Let's listen. Maybe we can get something from the referee.
No 1st down, no flag.
There was no penalty flag. That was just a mistake. 1st down, Kentucky at the Kentucky 24. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left 1st half.
We'll watch the catch again. He didn't signal. He almost signaled, but he didn't. And all at once, all white jerseys. I can see why maybe he would have liked to toss it up.
There's a hello plane.
This is Hill on a sweep. He gets a couple of yards. Brian Kistler, number 40, a freshman from Shanksville, has replaced Neil Hutton at defensive halfback. So now, Penn State, already riddled by injury prior to the game, has lost, for how long we don't know, their quarterback, John Andrus, and the defensive halfback, Neil Hutton. It is 2nd and 5, Kentucky at the Kentucky 29. And there goes a marker down. And we might have a penalty against Penn State.
I'm sure they're going to call a late hit there, Ray. I didn't see exactly. I think it was Matt Millen came in a little late, and they're going to. I think a penalty is probably in order here.
So with 2:28 left in the half.
Personal foul, number 60.
Matt Millen.
You'll watch it here. This was an option to throw the ball. He could throw around. He decided to keep the ball, and of course he's bottled up there. And if you'll watch right at the end there, he is down, and they call the late hit right there. Very close call, by the way.
1st down, Kentucky 43-yard line for the Wildcats. One thing very interesting there I noticed as penalty markers go flying, as Ed Smolder, the left guard, moved prematurely. Kurt Allerman was blitzing on 1st down, the linebacker.
I think they would like to get that ball back, Ray. It seems like they'd like to have one more offensive shot this half, and see if they can get something on the scoreboard.
5-yard penalty against Kentucky. 1st and 15 for the Wildcats at the Kentucky 38. The clock running. 2 minutes left in the half. This is Greg Woods. He gets about 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Ran into Kurt Allerman.
You know, Ray, you mentioned Warren Bryant. Both of those 2 big runs by Rod Stewart, they keyed right off the block of this big Bryant. He's some kind of football player.
This is Woods. Gets about a yard or so. Bill Banks finally brought him down. He slipped a couple of tackles.
You'll see him shed Kurt Allerman here, who had a good shot to get him behind the line of scrimmage. These Kentucky backs are running hard, and this young man is strong.
Ramsey. Hit out of bounds by Bill Crummey. Randy Burke made the catch.
That's the first completion for him today. Randy Burke caught first pass that Derek Ramsey's completed today. But it was a big one.
At the Penn State 44-yard line, 1 minute, 11 seconds left in the first half. Just joined us, Kentucky leading 7-0. Went 59 yards after a pass interception. This is Woods. He stops the clock at the 40-yard line as Brian Kistler, the freshman who's really getting a baptism here, replacing the injured Neil Hutton. And Joe Dupre, a running back, is replacing Stewart at fullback. 1:06 left in the half now. Kentucky 2nd and 6 at the Penn State 40.
They did go right to work on Brian Kistler. They threw underneath him a while ago, and now they're running at his side.
About 1 yard for number 22, Chris Hill, ran into Hostetler. It's going to be 3rd down and 5, and Kentucky going without a huddle as the clock is running, and less than a minute now remaining in the first half. It's a backward pass. And number 2, Greg Woods, realized it was a backward pass. In other words, it could have been recovered by Penn State.
You'll see the option here. Derek Ramsey threw the ball a little late, and he caught Greg Woods not suspecting the ball. As a result, Penn State almost got this ball back in good field position.
Kentucky on 4th down and 9 has asked for a timeout with 25 seconds left in the half. George Paterno, your thoughts here.
Oh, Ray, Kentucky's hurting Penn State with a misdirection play by the fullback. And after Penn State stops for a few downs, he breaks it. Now, as I said before, the heat's going to be a big factor. And once again, Penn State's defense has been forced to play most of the game. Conditioning will definitely be an emphatic factor in the second half.
That gentleman there in blue is Fran Kersey, the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats.
You know, Ray, they had less than ideal workout conditions at State College this week. It rained several days, and probably Penn State didn't get as much work in for this game as they'd normally like to do.
When time is back in, it'll be 4th and 9 Kentucky at the Penn State 43. Punt formation time for Pete Gemmel. Maudie back at the 10. 25 seconds left in the half. Good punt. Into the end zone, over the end line. Marker down at the 42-yard line of Penn State. Offside, Penn State.
I think the question here will
Defense
be
is
whether
offside. If you take the play, it'll be their ball, a touchback. If you take the penalty, it'll be 4th and 5.
Take the penalty.
Take the penalty.
So Kentucky elects to take the penalty. It'll be 4th and 5 with 18 seconds now left in the half.
it is strange, not really strange, but it's an odd situation. They could have given Penn State the ball on the 20-yard line, or they could kick again. Maybe Penn State will put the block on, and if they end up blocking the punt, then they'll decide it might not have been that good a call.
Penn State at the moment. Now Kentucky's asked for a timeout. They're going to try and run the football. Well, incidentally, the Penn State Football Television Network would like to know your opinion of our telecasts. We're trying very hard to continue to bring you the telecasts and are interested in knowing if you enjoy watching Penn State football. We'd like to hear from you. Here's the address. Comments. TCS, Box 71048, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The zip code, and don't forget that, 15213. Comments, TCS, Box 71048. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The zip code is 15213. Are you a bit surprised at this decision here, Max? What if they fumble the ball?
I was surprised if they took the penalty. Why would they take the penalty if they were going to kick it again? I would have gone ahead and let the kick play. So evidently that they decided to run the ball here and see if they can get something on the scoreboard. They got time, you know, to make a first down and kick a field goal.
4th and 3, Kentucky.
They're trying to draw them offside. That was the whole deal right there.
By using an unusual cadence, they were trying to draw Penn State offside, which would have given Kentucky a first down, but it didn't work. Penn State has the football with 14 seconds left in the half. So I'll be very honest with you. I do not fully understand that bit of strategy there by Kentucky. But whatever, Penn State has the ball, not at the 20 where they would have had it on a punt, but at the Penn State 36-yard line and 14 seconds left in the half.
I think Fran Kersey's thinking there was it was less than 5 yards for a first down. So they go up there and take the long count, take a shot on Penn State jumping offside, and that gives them possibly 3 to 4 more plays to get in field goal range. But Joe Paterno's teams are not very apt to jump offsides at that particular moment.
Again, for those of you who joined us late, Penn State has lost by injury 2 players. Quarterback John Andrus on the second play of the game. Chuck Fusina has replaced him. Neil Hutton a few moments ago here in the second quarter, and he was replaced at defensive halfback by Brian Kistler. So with 14 seconds left in the first half, Penn State 1st and 10 at the Penn State 36. Fusina is downed, and that was probably the final play of the first half by Tim Gooch and Raleigh Skur, a couple of Kentucky linemen, and that's the end of the first half. With the score, Kentucky 7, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Do when the second half comes around.
Well, Ray, not only is the Kentucky team up, but so are the fans. We literally can't even hear ourselves talk. Frankie Frisch used to say how those bases on balls will kill you. Now, it's the same thing with offensive miscues in football. Penn State is not generating enough offense, again forcing our defense to stay on the field. However, the game of football is won up front in the trenches, and Penn State is getting beat on the line of scrimmage. They must make more yardage on 1st and 2nd down. Too many times they're 2nd and long yardage, 3rd and long yardage. They must get 4 and 5 on their 1st and 2nd down if they're going to stay in this football game. The adjustment that they have to make is as simple as that. Hit them and drive them back. Back up to you, Ray.
Okay, George Paterno. Now we have another Penn Stater who says that college is worth it. Kentucky will get the football at the start of the second half. Matt Barr will kick off. We would like to make one change here. We told you that number 65, Bill Young, handled the ball and was deep in some return situations. Number 65 is being warned today by defensive back Mike Gooman. Why we did not know this, I cannot tell you. But now, in case you see number 65, and it could be important, we'll tell you. Matt Barr's kick is taken deep by number 22, running back Woods. Marker down, another marker down. Chris Hill, the runner, not Woods, but 2 markers at least are down.
Usually
clipping. Yep.
Right.
You're right,
has to be
Max.
clipping down there because not much else can happen. But I'm surprised maybe that the way Chris Hill avoided some Penn State tacklers.
Chris Hill is the regular left halfback out of this Kentucky offense. The ball goes back to the Kentucky 7. Now,
53, Clipping.
number 53, Tom Dornbrook of the Wildcats from Pittsburgh was guilty of the clip. First down, Kentucky at the Kentucky 7. Now, here's a great opportunity for the Penn State defense. Ramsey at quarterback, and he is a good one. Big, strong runner. Ramsey is nailed at the line of scrimmage by Bill Banks and Tom DePasso.
Ray, I'd like to elaborate on that, what you said about the defense. If you can hold Penn State now on their very first drive, if you hold Kentucky on their first drive, make them punt into this wind, get yourself field position somewhere around that 50-yard line, then you got something to work with.
Ramsey gained a yard. It is 2nd and 9. Hill is nailed by Crosby close to the line of scrimmage. Now wide receiver Randy Burke is coming off the bench to replace Scott Peterson, a second tight end. Let's see if Ramsey elects to put the ball in the air on 3rd and 8 from the Kentucky 9.
I've got a feeling he's not going to put the ball in the air. I'm not sure Frank Kersey is going to let him put the ball in the air down there in that end of the field.
3rd and 8. Loose football. Who has it? Penn State has it at the 21-yard line. Tony Petruccio on a fumble by Woods.
I think you're going to see a forward lateral here, too. If you'll watch this ball, I thought it was forward. As you can see, it was, but the officials didn't see it. He fumbles. Penn State gets their first big break of the game, and that's what they really needed.
Now, can the offense take advantage of Petruccio's alertness? At the Kentucky 21, 1st and 10. Stutz at fullback, Geis at tailback. Fusina the quarterback. This is Geis. And he does well to get back to the line of scrimmage. Marker down at the Kentucky 19-yard line. Let's see what we have. Holding.
Holding number 51.
It's called on the center, Keith Dorney, number 51. Penalties at key times have been very costly to Penn State.
Well, it really wasn't any time for a 15-yard penalty.
The ball goes back to the Kentucky 36-yard line.
Really a tough break for Penn State to get the holding penalty, which is one of the worst penalties you can get. It almost puts you out of field goal range, and it makes it very hard to get a first down.
It is now 1st and 25. Monty and Cephalo are to the left. This is Big Stutz. And he gets about 4 rare, very, very tough yards. The defense led by Kelly Kirchbaum, a linebacker.
You watch Dave Stutz. He made every yard the hard way, and he is a hard, tough, hard-nosed running back. You'll see him catch the ball here. There's 4 people get a shot at him before he goes down, and he actually picks up 4 or 5 yards all on his own.
Now it is 2nd and 21. This is Geis, the tailback, and he's down to the 22-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 11, where linebacker Jim Kovacs made the tackle.
You watch it here. Fusina sends everything right to get the defense over there, and then throws back to Malott, and he makes a big gainer. That's Geis, Steve Geis. Excuse me.
Now Penn State has a 3rd down and about 11 at the 22-yard line of Kentucky. Intended for Schuler, the tight end. Defending was Ray Carr. It is 4th down. Now, for Penn State, Tony Capozzoli is into the game, a reserve quarterback, and he will apparently try a field goal. It'll be about a 40-yard attempt with Donovan holding at the Kentucky 30. It is wide to the left. So Penn State is not able to take advantage of the fumble recovery. Kentucky gets the ball. There's a timeout on the field. To the score, Kentucky 7 and Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. After a missed field goal by Penn State, Kentucky has a 1st and 10 at the Kentucky 20. 11:50 left 3rd quarter. Kentucky still leading 7-0. It's a fullback, Stewart. Gets about 3 yards. Tony Petruccio continuing his fine sophomore play. Change at guard for Kentucky. Mark Keene, number 64, replaces Dornbrook. Randy Burke comes in, a wide receiver, and Kentucky now is using 2 wide receivers, Dickerson and Burke, on 2nd down and 7. Stewart, 2 yards.
There again, they're trying to use that quick opener. They tried it to the right side, and they came back to the left side. Both very close to breaking it, but alert defensive play kept that play from making it.
Kentucky has a 3rd down 5. Burke is wide left. Dickerson is lined up tight on the right side. Ramsey, he might have a 1st down. And Randy Sidler is injured. He'll be replaced by Chuck Benjamin at tackle. Penn State has just lost its 3rd player of the day. Joining John Andrus and Neil Hutton now, it's tackle Randy Sidler, who is just back in action after injury. So we have Penn State charged with a timeout. And we should tell you that announcers on this telecast are contracted by... This is a very, very physical football game.
That's right. When you tackle Derek Ramsey, you're really tackling a big guy. He weighs 225 pounds. He's a tough runner. And I think, as you think back over the big plays, he's made most of their 3rd down plays, and he's really the backbone of this Wildcat offense.
Incidentally, John Andrus has been taken to a hospital here in Lexington to have his injured ribs x-rayed. That's the last word that we have. So Chuck Benjamin will step in now at defensive right tackle to replace number 25, Randy Sidler. Kentucky 1st down at the Kentucky 30. Kentucky with a tremendous edge in running, in controlling the football, and leading 7-0 here with 10:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Stewart is nailed by Benjamin. That's about as quick as you can establish the fact that you're in a football game.
Right. If that was an influence play, Benjamin was not influenced because he was right on top of it.
Loss of 1, 2nd down 11. Left half is Hill, 22. Right half back is Woods, number 2, and Stewart wears number 32. Ramsey, nothing there at all. Penn State played that option play beautifully, led by senior Ron Crosby of Glassport. Andy Bailey, can you tell if a man is worried by looking at a Nittany Lion?
Well, Andy never looks worried. You know, there's a lot of time left in the game, but, you know, Ray, in the first half, Penn State only had 29 yards rushing versus 180 for Kentucky. And able to have a good passing attack, you've got to be able to run the ball. So they've got to establish a run really before they can be effective passing.
Kentucky has a 3rd down and 9. It'll be 4th down and about 4, and the punting team hurries onto the field to try and get Penn State again confused with the wrong people on the field. Pete Gemmel is the punter. Maudie back at the Penn State 22. Good punt. Maudie at the 20. Fumble. Kentucky has it. A penalty flag is down at the Penn State 25-yard line. Randy Brooks recovered the football, but a marker down at the 25, clipping against Penn State, nullified. So Penn State makes another mistake. This is the 3rd turnover by Penn State.
You'll watch it here. Somebody came in and stripped the ball right out of Rich Maudie's hand. There it goes. John Nocta stripped the ball.
So the Penn State defense about to be tested again. Burke out wide to the right. The ball at the Penn State 21-yard line. 1st and 10 Wildcats. This is number 2, Woods. He's out of bounds at the 1. No, he is ruled to have been out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So that's only the second pass completed by Kentucky. It'll be 1st and goal at the 1.
You'll see Ramsey has become such a threat with the run. They came up a little too fast. Greg Woods wide open. One official ruled a touchdown, but you can see he stepped out on the 1-yard line.
So 1st and goal at the Penn State 1-yard line. The Wildcat offensive unit thought the touchdown was scored, and they have to be called back on the field here. Official timeout. I don't quite understand here.
Ray, I saw one official throw his hand up. Now, maybe they're trying to decide which official they're going to go by. One said 1-yard line, one said touchdown.
Now Kentucky is taking a timeout, but meanwhile, a couple of minutes have gone by. I don't understand this at all. There is a timeout on the field, that I know. The score, Kentucky 7 and Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Kentucky has a 1st and goal at the Penn State 1 after a lot of confusion surrounding whether Woods did or didn't score a touchdown. He didn't, but it's 1st and goal at the Penn State 1. Wood, rather Ramsey, tries to struggle in, and he is marked shy of the goal line.
Ramsey's already, I think, the leading scorer in the country this year. He scored 6 touchdowns already, so he's the guy they like to give it to down on the 1-yard line.
He picked up about a foot that time, so it is 2nd and goal. Tries again, and he scores. So Kentucky now has a 13-0 lead with 8:08 left to play in the 3rd quarter. And we have another injury. It is either Bill Banks or Tom DePasso. It is Bill Banks. He becomes the 4th Penn Stater to be injured today, joining Andrus, Hutton, and Sidler, and it appears to be his left knee.
Bill Banks would be a big loss to that defense. We said earlier, he's their leading tackler, and he's been playing a very good game today.
So Banks limps off the field. And Bruce Austin, a junior from Pittsburgh, will replace him, number 59. The attempted extra point for Kentucky will be by Pierce. John Pierce. The holder is Grubb. Not good. It is wide to the right. So Kentucky leads by 13-0, and if ever a team has to reach down and find something, this Penn State team must do just that. Incidentally, in coming weeks, we'll have some familiar Penn State names and faces as our on-the-field analyst. We'll have Dan Natale, we'll have Mike Reed, Chuck Burkhart, and Bobby Campbell will be here together for one of our games. So right now, the attention will turn to the Penn State kickoff return team, as the Nittany Lions are down 13-0. And Mike Gooman, remember again, Mike Gooman, number 65. He's wearing Bill Young's number. Bill Crummy, number 23. Rich Motti, number 48, are back for this Kentucky kickoff. Motti at the 1. So let's see if this Penn State offense can get something going with 8:01 left to play in the third quarter. Chuck Fusina will be the quarterback. Steve Geis will be the tailback. If you joined us late and are wondering about Matt Suey, because of injuries sustained last week, Matt did not make the trip. The fullback has been Dave Stutz, number 89, and he's in there now. Cephalo in motion. Big Dave Stutz. Fumble. Kentucky has another turnover. Dallas Owens recovers it.
Ray, this isn't the kind of Penn State football team you're normally used to looking at. They normally don't make these kind of mistakes. Fumbles are usually freak deals, as you can see there. He was really nailed.
Bernard Robinson, number 41, is in instead of Bill Crummey. The ball at the Penn State 24-yard line. This is the right halfback, Greg Woods, and he's hit hard by Tony Petruccio. And Bruce Austin helped out. Now, I don't know if Bill Crummey is out of the game because of injury. If so, then this injury list would really become almost catastrophic.
You have to wonder how physical it is down there. Penn State has lost maybe 5 to 6 people by injury. It's either unusual or it's a very physical game.
Second down, 8. Ramsey throwing. Incomplete. He tried to find Chris Hill. It's going to be third down, and coming over to help out was Bernard Robinson. He is playing defensive right halfback now, and the freshman from Shanksville, Brian Kistler, is playing defensive left halfback. Now for Kentucky, it is 3rd and 8 at the Penn State 22. 7:15 left to play third quarter. Kentucky leading 13-0. This is the left halfback. Chris Hill nailed short of a first down. It's going to be 4th down, and Derek Ramsey looks over to head coach Fran Kersey. 4th and 2 at the Penn State 16. Reserve quarterback Johnny Grubb, the holder, is going in, and John Pierce will apparently try a 33-yard field goal.
Pierce is the all-time leading kicker here at Kentucky. Past Bob Gaines, I believe, record here this year.
High enough. Good. There's a timeout on the field, and with the score Kentucky 16 and Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. So Kentucky has capitalized on another turnover on a field goal now, and it is Monty at the 1. To the 24-yard line. Penn State has lost the ball twice on pass interceptions, twice on fumbles. 3 of the 4 turnovers have been turned into scores by Kentucky.
And I would think now that Penn State's to the point where they've got to put the ball in the air. And this is when the score can get out of hand, or either they can get a real good break and get back in the game. All
right, now some new numbers for Penn State. Number 33, Tony Alguero, is the fullback. Number 20, Kevin Thrower, is the halfback. Fusina. This is Tom Donovan. A gain of between 9 and 10, tackled by Mike Saganos.
That's that little turn-in. You'll see on the replay, it's a turn-in to Donovan, and Fusina's right on target this day. This play has been open most of the day. It's the second time they've completed it. 2nd and 1 at the Penn State 34. Tony Alguero from New York, number 33 at fullback. Kevin Thrower, number 20 of New Kensington, at tailback. Andy Onkotz was in at tight end for a moment, and he's in there now. This is Kevin Thrower. And he has a first down at the Penn State 35-yard line.
brought down by David Stevens, number 82. And Dave Pedrowski, a linebacker, number 56. First down, Penn State at the Penn State 36. 5:33 left, third quarter, and Kentucky is leading 16-0. Cepolo to the left, Donovan to the right. Donovan hit by Rick Hayden, and it's incomplete.
You'll see only a solid hit by Rick Hayden possibly caused this not to be incomplete, because Donovan is open. He gets his hands on the ball and would have been a big gainer. He could have caught the ball.
Instead, after the incomplete pass, it is 2nd and 10 at the Penn State 35 with 5:07 left to play in the third quarter. Fitzke goes to the left and Donovan to the right. This is Fitzke. And he gets about 7 yards to the Penn State 43.
You watch it here from the ground level, you'll see the old reverse, and it almost worked. He was just a little slow getting there, or possibly it could have broke for a big gain. He had the people out in front and almost made the corner, and if he does, he could have gone all the way. Good block by Paul Renault.
Paul Renault. It is a 3rd and 3 at the Penn State 43. Cepolo comes this way in motion. This is Thrower and a marker down. A marker is down. Thrower did not get enough yardage for a first down. Illegal motion, Penn State. Another mistake.
Right, you're looking in that backfield at people playing right now that Joe Paterno thought would never be playing possibly this whole year, but through injuries, he's down to the freshman sophomore level.
Kentucky makes the decision now. It is declined. It is 4th down and 3. Fitzke comes in to punt. Saganos back to receive the punt. Fitzke has been punting well today. He averaged 43 yards in the first half. Beautiful punt. Saganos. Well, I'll tell you, he gives the most tentative free catch signal I've seen in a long time. George Paterno, what are your thoughts now as Penn State is just making mistake after mistake?
Well, as we said before, Ray, you can't win ball games playing like they've been playing so far with the errors, but they're still in the football game. They need that one big play to give them a little lift and get some points up on the board. Back to you, Ray.
First down, Kentucky at the Wildcat 8-yard line with 4:07 left third quarter. Out to the 14-yard line comes Greg Woods, where Kurt Allerman brought him down. So 6 yards on first down for Kentucky. Well, I'll tell you, the Wildcats have a lot of hard running backs with good speed. Now Bruce Clark, number 54, is in at a linebacker now for Penn State. First down for Chris Hill at the Kentucky 23-yard line, where Joe DeAnge brought him down. 12 first downs for the Wildcats. They've completed only 2 passes, but one of the 2 set up their second touchdown. Bob Fladden, number 56. Paul Metasavage, number 74. 2 freshman tackles are in there now. This is Stewart. Stewart gets gets 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
You know, the Kentucky offensive line seems to be winning the battle in the trenches there. They're getting off the ball. They're opening holes, and Penn State is going to have to get a better defensive effort out the front 3 and those 4 linebackers.
2nd down, 7. This is Woods to the 32. Bruce Clark helped out on the tackle, number 54. Brian Kistler. Joe DeAnge to the 31-yard line. It is 3rd down and 3. And time is running out in the 3rd period. Kentucky is leading 16-0. First down at the 35.5. Gladden made the tackle on Woods, but Woods picked up a first down. So Kentucky right now is just saying, in effect, we're going to run the football and we're going to get our first down.
And they're running that clock down too, Ray. Every time they make a first down, it takes minutes off that clock. And for Penn State to get back in this game, they've got to score a minimum of 3 times. So they really need to get that ball back.
Kentucky has moved from the 8 to the 35. This is the left halfback out to the 39. That's Chris Hill. Crosby makes the stop, but on first down, Kentucky gets 4 yards. I'll say one thing. These backs for the Wildcats are really in good shape. They have played with almost without a substitution.
They're getting more work today than they normally get, which is some of the reason why Penn State defense is getting more work than it normally gets.
2nd and 6.
That's what Ramsey's known for. He ran the option that time. Somebody got his jersey, but that's all they got. He ran up the sidelines. You'll see it here. They had one shot at him. I don't know who got his jersey right here.
Gary Peter Kuski got his jersey.
You know, for a guy 225 pounds and 6'4", he moves them out pretty good.
So a brilliant effort by Derek Ramsey. Kentucky leads 22-0. Timeout, Kentucky. I believe they just noticed that they were shy 1 player.
You know, if they'd ever let you think back, which you can't, but all this started when Penn State got a real opportunity right down inside the 20-yard line on that fumble. The first play of the game, an official drops a holding penalty, which eliminated possible score for Penn State, which would have made the score either 7-7, 7-3. Then all at once, the other way, and all at once is 22-0.
George Paterno, quick thought from you.
Well, Ray, the toll is taken on Penn State's defense. They're starting to look tired, and Joe has put a lot of young people at substitutes, and they're making errors right now. There was no inside linebacker there to pick up Ramsey on his cutback there. Up to you.
Okay, George Paterno. Kentucky will try to put point number 23 on the board with 1:11 left to play, and up they're going for 2. They're going for 2 points. New quarterback. This is Bill Tolston. Clark and Matasavage stopped Tolston's attempt at 2 points, but Kentucky has a 22-0 lead. And I guess in this situation, Max trying to find something optimistic from a Penn State point of view is the fact that a lot of young players are getting some experience, which will help on another day.
That's right, and so far it looks like it's going to be another day because Kentucky is controlling this ball club both offensively and defensively. And for Penn State, with a quarter and a couple of minutes to go, they're going to have to hit a bomb. They're going to have to get a big break in order to get back in this ball game.
Joe Bryant will kick off. Monty is in the middle, along with Mike Gooman. This is Mike Gooman, the freshman. And he gets it out to the 23-yard line. So let's see who will be in there now offensively for Penn State. Thrower will be the tailback. Al Gary will be the fullback. Fusina will be the quarterback. Cefalo to the left. Donovan to the right from the Penn State 23. This is Thrower to the 28-yard line. Thrower gets 5 yards on first down. He ran into nose guard Jerry Blanton, who is going to be replaced by Richard Jaffe at that all-important middle spot in the front 5 as Kentucky plays this defense.
Draw play has been a good play for Penn State today. Every time they've ran it, they've managed to get good yardage.
We're in the final 35 seconds of the third quarter. This is Fitzke. First down at the Penn State 46-yard line.
Scott Fitzke runs good pass pattern. This young man can run. He can catch the ball. If you can get the ball to him, he'll come down with it. You see right here, he makes it just inbounds. He just gets 1 foot in to make it a good throw. He gets both feet in.
First down at the Penn State 46-yard line. The clock is running. We're down to 12 seconds left in the third quarter. This is Thrower. No gain. Might have lost a yard. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Kentucky 22, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Further scoring. There was no further scoring. The quarter ended with the score, Kentucky 22, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Penn State has a 2nd and 10 at the Penn State 46-yard line as we start the fourth quarter with Kentucky leading 22-0. Double wing. Intended for Thrower, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10. Defending Rick Hayden. He has, in addition to other accomplishments today, intercepted 2 of Fusina's passes.
You know, Cefalo was pretty well man-to-man that time. I think he's going to come back and tell that quarterback that he can get open. He was open that time, but the play really wasn't called to him. But I think you're going to see some action to Cefalo here before long.
3rd and 10. Fusina has a first down.
Chuck Fusina's first time he scrambled today for good yardage. He wants to throw the ball. There's nobody open. He fakes this guy, has a chance to throw it, and I think he's very close to a first down. Where they made it or not, I think they're going to measure. Yes, he made the first down.
At the Kentucky 44-yard line. This is the fullback, Stutz. And he gets about 4 yards to the Kentucky 40, where David Stevens brought him down. I beg your pardon. That was that?
Bob Torrey.
Tony Algeri it was. I'm sorry, I said Dave Stutz. Or it was Bob Torrey, yes.
Right.
Bob Torrey, number 39. I thought it was 89. So we have a new fullback now, Torrey. It's 2nd and 6. Vitsky in motion. This is Malott. About 3 yards to the Kentucky 36.
Penn State has just been unable to get outside today. They're just not quite getting the one block they need to string some of these backs loose.
It is 3rd and 3 at the Kentucky 37. Cepolo brings in the play with 13:40 left in the game, and Kentucky with a 22-0 lead. Cepolo goes to the right. Donovan to the near side. Intended for Torrey. It is 4th and 3.
Well, at this stage of the game, what do? Do you punt it?
I would doubt it very much, quite frankly, Max.
I do, too. I think they'll probably go for the first down.
Whatever, Scott Vitsky is bringing in the play selection on 4th and 3 at the Kentucky 37. I'm interested now to see whether Kentucky tries to blitz with their linebackers.
It's possible, and of course, the draw play is possible. It's been working today, so we'll see if they try that or go ahead and throw the ball.
This is Malott, and he is caught from behind. Jerry Blanton gets him from behind. He does not get the first down. Kentucky has the football.
That was a little quick screen, Ray, and they got the ball to Malott, but one of the guys broke through the screen and got him from behind, and of course now the ball goes over.
There's a timeout on the field, and with a score of Kentucky 22 and Penn State nothing, we'll be back after this. Kentucky stopped Penn State on 4th and 3, takes over the football. And the Wildcats on first down get a couple of yards as Stewart comes up the middle. Well, I'll tell you this, Max McGee, I don't know very much about the city of Lexington or the campus of the University of Kentucky, but I have a hunch, to use that old phrase, there's going to be a hot time in the old town tonight, the way these Wildcats are playing today. 2nd and 8. Number 2, Greg Woods, gets a couple of yards. Bruce Clark made the tackle.
I think you're right, Ray. This Kentucky has been down for several years, and all at once they'll be 3-1 after if they win today's game. And I think these people here, they're like anywhere else. When you start winning, they like football, and they like it here in Kentucky.
Mike Gooman now is in the game in place of Gary Peter Cuskey at safety. Kentucky has a 3rd and 6. This is Greg Hill. Fumble! Brian Kistler has it for Penn State at the Penn State 46. Bernard Robinson made the hit that forced the fumble.
You'll see the fumble here. The ball shot out of his arms. And very alertly, Penn State picks up, and this is a break maybe that Penn State needs to get something on the scoreboard. They got to get it now if they're going to get back in this ball game.
Kentucky has fumbled 3 times, but of course when we tell you it's 22-0, it's obvious Kentucky's defense has been equal to every challenge. For Donovan, Bucina just let that one fly. And nearest the ball when it came down was Rick Hayden, who's already intercepted twice.
Tom Donovan, for some reason, stopped running. It looked like the play, he was meant to go deep. Bucina thought he was going deep, but all at once he either got held up or he stopped running, thinking the ball wasn't going to be thrown to him. It was almost an interception.
Dave Shukri, number 58, has replaced Ron Orgenta now at right guard. Paul Reynaud, number 78 from Erie, is at left guard. Malott. From behind, Jerry Blanton, teaming with Jim Kovach, made the stop.
In this position where you have to throw a lot, occasionally you have to throw that draw. I mean, you have to run the draw just to keep the Penn State or the Kentucky guys from teeing off on your lineman. That's the reason they throw in a draw every once in a while. But basically, they're going to have to throw the ball from your end.
3rd and 8 with 11 and a half minutes remaining, and the ball at the Penn State 48-yard line. Donovan has a first down at the Kentucky 38-yard line, where linebacker Jim Kovach made the tackle. So Fusina picks up a first down at the Kentucky 37.
You'll see here they've been more successful throwing underneath this Kentucky defense with the turn in here to Donovan. Good play, good catch, good opportunity now to get into scoring position.
11 minutes left in the game. Torrey and Thrower are the running backs. Forfitsky, the receiver was knocked down.
There's a flag.
And there's a marker in the end zone. The receiver was knocked down. Scott Fitzke is going to, as a result of his being knocked down in the end zone, Penn State will be 1st and goal at the Kentucky 1.
You'll see here on the replay, now whether it's intentional or not, you're not allowed to trip this guy. They got tangled up right here. Definite interference, tripped Scott Fitzke, and the first big break for Penn State there on the 1-yard line, 1st and 10.
So with 10:43 left in the game, Torrey and Thrower, the runners behind Fusina, 1st and goal, Penn State. Thrower. He's met by defensive end Art Still for a loss to the 2-yard line.
You want to watch these Kentucky boys come off that line of scrimmage. They've really controlled the line of scrimmage today, which is somewhat unusual, but they came to play football. And you can see there, it's all blue.
Steve Geis now replaces Thrower at tailback. 2nd and goal at the Kentucky 2. Double tight end, Kubis and Onfox. Geis again. Kentucky holds firm.
You watch this Kentucky line again. They're giving nothing inside there. They played a good game all day, and I think they're going to score a touchdown. They're either going to have to get outside or they're going to have to throw the ball.
That time was linebacker Dave Fedrowski who put the shoulder into Geis. No gain. 3rd and goal, 2-yard line. And, of course, precious seconds and minutes are ticking away. Touchdown. I think his tight end, Mickey Schuler, will be on the receiving end, number 82. Let's see. Yep, there he is, Mickey Schuler from Enola. So Penn State finally gets on the scoreboard.
You just saw a great pass and a great catch right here. I thought he almost threw the ball away. He threw it low, which was the only place that Schuler could actually catch a ball because he was very well covered. So this is a very well executed play.
Penn State will go for 2. With Torrey, the fullback. Geis, the tailback. No. A good rush on Fusina, and he does not get the ball to Schuler. There's a timeout on the field. With the score, Kentucky 22 and Penn State 6. We'll be back right after this. Penn State finally on the board. After a pass interference penalty, put the ball at the Kentucky 1 on 3rd down. The pass from Fusina to Schuler for the touchdown. 2-point conversion not successful on an attempted pass. So Matt Barr preparing to kick off to the Wildcats with 9:20 left in the game. Now Kentucky is expecting an onside kick. The Kentucky assistants have just waved their players up close, but Barr kicks it deep. And this is Chris Hill, and he'll not run it out. That's a very wise decision at this stage, not wanting to risk a fumble. The Wildcats having fumbled 3 times today, 3 times they fumbled when Penn State has recovered. So now let's see whether the Penn State defense, riddled by injury and playing a lot of underclassmen, particularly at the tackles. We've had Paul Matasavage and Bob Platten, 2 freshmen. We have Rick Donaldson in the game now instead of Ron Hostetler, a freshman from Dunkirk, New York. Robinson and Kistler, the defensive halfbacks. And it's obvious the Kentucky coaches, Max, have told those runners put both arms around that football, because Chris Hill that time wanted to do nothing except protect the football. He got about 2 yards. And he comes up limping, does Chris Hill. He'll be replaced by Pete Gemmel, number 81.
I think Fran Kersey thinks he has a game won as long as he doesn't make the big mistake. And I'm sure he said, at all costs, hold on to that ball.
This is Stewart, the fullback, and he ran into Bruce Clark, and Pete Harris is now in, number 45, from Mount Holly, New Jersey.
Young
Franco Harris's brother is in the ball game now, number 45. Third down, 5 at the Kentucky 25. First down for Greg Woods, the right halfback. So the Wildcats, let's give them credit. Time and again, on a third down play, they were able to come up with the yardage necessary for a first down. It's practically an entire second unit now in defensively. Joe Lally is in, Bruce Austin, Paul Matasavage, Bob Platten, Rick Donaldson, Bruce Clark, Matt Millen, Pete Harris, Mike Duman, Brian Kistler, Bernard Robinson. Rod Stewart carried for a couple to the 35-yard line. Randy Brooks was in for 1 offensive play for Kentucky. Fran Kersey must be a very, very happy coach right now. Kentucky off to its greatest start in 10 years and just 7.5 minutes away from a very, very big victory. Chris Hill, first down.
Well, as you said, Ray, Penn State has got almost a complete new unit in that defensive alignment. And one guy that's impressed me both with his hitting ability and his hustle is Bruce Clark from Newcastle. He really likes to pop, and he's a big man, 242 at linebacker. He may be a new biggie for Penn State at that position.
First down at the Kentucky 47. This is Hill. And he gets about 6 yards on first down before Matt Millen brought him down. So Kentucky is, I dare say, when this game's over, this might be a record running yardage in a long time against a Penn State defense.
They have definitely been able to move the ball. As you see right here, they're making that key block outside there that really enables the guy to make the break.
Bob Hawkins now is in at right halfback instead of Greg Woods, number 25. Stewart gets a couple. It'll be third and about 3 before Joe Lally, number 57, from Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, a sophomore. There's 6 freshmen, by the way, in the game right now on defense for Penn State. Stewart, the big fullback, number 32, has gained 103 yards for Kentucky. This is a 3rd and 3. No gain. 4th down coming up and still about 3. Punt formation time as Rick Donaldson make the tackle. Gooman and Motti are dropping back now for an anticipated punt.
I'll say one thing, Ray. What these young defenders from Penn State lack in experience, they make up for it in hustle. They really come to play. There's some good boys in the future out there.
Rick Hayden is in to do the punting for Kentucky. They're trying to draw Penn State offside, and they're going to draw a delayed game penalty.
I thought for a while they were going to have to wake that official up so he'd blow the whistle. It seemed like they stayed about a minute off the clock waiting for him to blow the whistle.
Delay a game. Delay a game.
So with 5:05 left to play and Penn State down 22-6, some of the fans, largest football crowd in the history of football in Kentucky, some of the fans are beginning to leave. Fair catch by Maudie at the Penn State 15-yard line. Here's another Penn Stater who says college is worth it.
A broadcaster talks about college.
College was the hardest.
After a Kentucky punt, Penn State with the ball, 1st and 10, Penn State 14-yard line, 5 minutes left in the game, and this is Donovan. Usina finds Donovan at the Penn State 35-yard line.
Well, that got him out of a hole, gives them some room to work. You'll see Usina has been on the money time and time again on this inside little turn-in here, and Donovan's been bringing them in. This has been their big play today.
John Dunn, number 62, is in at a tackle now on the right side for Penn State. Irv Pankey, number 83, is in at tight end. This is Kevin Thrower.
They tried to get the screen set up, but nothing doing. Kentucky was out there again. They're reading that screen pass good.
No gain, 2nd down 10 with only 4:26 left to play. Next week for Penn State, Army comes to State College.
Interesting statistic, Ray. Kentucky has 340 yards unofficially rushing.
Wow. Second and 10. This is intended for Fitzke. Defending was Dallas Owens. It'll be 3rd and 10.
He had perfect position on that defense there. That was a good thrown pass, good pattern, but very good defensive play by Dallas Owens.
For Penn State, 3rd and 10 at the Penn State 35. Maudie goes right. Cepalo comes left. Out of a double wing formation. It was thrown behind Thrower over the middle. It is 4th down. So Fitzke comes in to punt, and the fans here applaud Kentucky's defense.
They love it, don't they? And I can rightly see why, because of the fortunes here in Kentucky. But Fran Percy seems to be getting this ball club back to where they used to be so many years ago.
Good punt. Sagano's fair catch. At the Kentucky 20-yard line, the Wildcats take over. There's a timeout on the field. With the score, Kentucky 22 and Penn State 6. We'll be back right after this. Kentucky with the ball at the Kentucky 20. A new quarterback is in the game, Bill Colston. He hands off to his fullback. His fullback is Joe Dupre, and Dupre gets nothing against this, to a great extent, freshman defense in there right now for Penn State. We're in the final 4 minutes of the game. Bill Colston is a sophomore from Chicago. He's replaced Ramsey now at quarterback. This is Hawkins. to around the 24-yard line, where Matt Millen brought him down.
Kentucky's getting some of their younger players in there now. They're pretty well sure the game is over, and they've pretty well substituted a complete new backfield and most of the linemen.
3rd and 6 for the Wildcats. Colston. Bernard Robinson made a fine tackle. The marker went down.
This is Matt Millen again, who had the earlier penalty, but I think the referee was just a little hasty with this flag because it looked very unintentional, and he was seen to me on the way down.
Personal foul, number 60.
First down, Kentucky at the Kentucky 38-yard line. With 3 minutes and 1 second left to play. Joe Lally and Bruce Austin, the defensive ends. Bob Gladden and Paul Matasavage, the tackles. This is Randy Brooks, the substitute left halfback in the game.
Randy Brooks, this Kentucky, they've got some young men that like to play football. Here, he breaks a couple of tackles, makes a good run. He just got in the game a little while ago, and he's out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Penn State now has 8 freshmen on defense. Kentucky 2nd and 5. Joe Lally brought down Hawkins. Close to a first down at the Kentucky 48-yard line. 3rd and about 1. And we're down to the final 2 minutes of the game. This is Tolston. First down. Kentucky at the Penn State 47, where Bruce Clark made the tackle. Yes, indeed, it's been a long while since any team has been able to run like this against Penn State. 180 yards in the first half. But the most important thing for Penn State between now and next Saturday, Max, is going to be how many people can they get healthy.
The place they've been hurt most all year has been at the running back position. And first, it's not without Matsui, who was just developing into an outstanding runner. They're down. They lost a couple more backs today, a couple of defensive backs, and I think injury-wise, they're in pretty poor shape.
2nd down and 6, and we're into the final 60 seconds of the game right now. Tolston. And Bruce Clark comes up with another fine tackle.
That's that young man I've been watching, Ray. He makes tackles like he means it. Real good form and really aggressive young man.
It's another Kentucky first down. 45 seconds now left in the game. 22-6 in favor of Kentucky. Right halfback, Bob Hawkins. Down to around the Penn State 30. Now that might have been the final play of the game. Mike Deaton, a freshman quarterback from Greensburg, Kentucky, is hopeful of getting a chance to run one play. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, and this crowd is ready to explode. Biggest crowd in the history of football in Kentucky. The game is over. It is intercepted by Bernard Robinson on the final play of the game. The final score, Kentucky 22, Penn State 6. We'll be back with Coach Joe Paterno and his post-game comments right after this.
was a hard-hitting game, Ray, and Kentucky was sky high, and they sure as heck deserved the win. Some of the things that Joe worried about, lack of size on defense against a bigger offensive line, showed today. For a long time since anybody made that much rushing yardage against a Penn State defense. But it's the old miscues that we talked about. You can't play a major college football team of Kentucky's caliber and turn the ball over 4 and 5 times and not come up with any big plays. Every coach would like to salvage some good out of a loss. And I think Penn State can look forward to having some great seasons from some of the freshmen that Joe was forced to put in the game because of injuries and because of the heat factor. Now, what does a coach do that has never lost 3 straight games? It only proves that he's very human, and we still love him, and I think he'll regroup his team, play a lot more of these freshmen, and from this point on, hope to go and do what he did years ago when he put together a 20-game winning streak.
Well, Max McGee, after following the fortunes of Penn State from afar for 3 weeks, you've had a chance today to watch in person. And I'll say it again and again. A game like today proves how very much attitude has to do with the outcome of a game. Kentucky was sky high, very emotional, and played that way.
Right, Ray. We brought that up at the beginning about momentum and the fact that they're home, the big crowd and everything, and that had a factor. But Kentucky outplayed Penn State today, both offensively and defensively. True, the holding penalty could have made a factor in the game of the overall picture, but when you put it down on paper, Kentucky thoroughly outplayed Penn State on this day.
So for Penn State, get people healthy, regroup, back to work. Next week is Army, and we'll hope that you'll be with us at that time. For Max McGee and George Paterno, this is Ray Scott saying so long from Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky, where the final score was Kentucky 22, Penn State 6. Promotional consideration from Herbert's Men's Shops, Heights Plaza Shopping Center. This game has been brought to you by Dodge. For a good buy, see the good guys at your local Dodge dealer today. And by Genesee Beer. Our one brewery makes it best. And by your 40,000 Westinghouse neighbors in Pennsylvania. Help make products that conserve energy by using it efficiently. The executive producer of Penn State football is Nelson L. Goldberg. This game has been produced by Guido D'Elia and directed by Brian Syke. Associate producer Susan Devlin. Be with us again next week, along with George Paterno, Chuck Burkhart, Bobby Campbell from Beaver Stadium when the Nittany Lions meet the Army Cadets. Production and technical facilities provided by TPC Pittsburgh. This has been a TCS production.